Some footballers take years to announce themselves. Some players slowly climb the ladder, season by season, learning the game step by step.
What can you say about the wonder kid?
Until they finally reach the top. And then there are rare cases like Lamine Yamal, a player who didn't wait for football to recognize him. He forced football to adjust to him. Still a teenager, still developing physically, still learning the hardest parts of professional football, but already terrifying defenders across Europe like a fully established superstar. And that raises a serious question. How did he become one of the deadliest wingers in Europe at such an unbelievable age? The answer is not one thing. It is a combination of environment, intelligence, bravery, and a type of natural football instinct that cannot be manufactured. A product of La Masia, where football is a language. At FC Barcelona's academy, FC Barcelona, football is not treated as chaos. It is treated as structure. At La Masia, players are not just taught how to play, they are taught how to think. From the earliest stages, young footballers are trained to understand. Space instead of just possession timing, instead of just speed decision-making, instead of just dribbling awareness, instead of just reaction, this environment shaped Lamine Yamal in a very specific way. He was not turned into a winger who simply runs at defenders. He was shaped into a player who reads defenders before engaging them. But what makes Yamal different is that he didn't lose his instinct inside the system. He enhanced it. Where many academy players become predictable, he became unpredictable within structure. That balance is extremely rare in modern football, because most players either become too mechanical or too chaotic. Yamal became both controlled chaos at elite speed, the leap that most players never survive. Years before defenders across Europe feared Lamine Yamal, a photograph captured a moment that now feels almost destined. In 2007, a young Lionel Messi, still years away from becoming football's greatest icon, was photographed holding baby Lamine Yamal during a Barcelona charity photo shoot. At the time, it meant nothing, just a child and a footballer. But history has a strange way of creating stories nobody could predict. As Messi went on to define an era, the baby in his arms would grow into the next great talent produced by Barcelona's academy. Looking back now, the image feels almost prophetic, as though football had quietly captured the beginning of one story while another was only just starting. Every young footballer dreams of first-team football, but very few survive it. The jump from academy football to elite senior football is not just about talent. It is about pressure, physicality, and mental survival. When Yamal was introduced into the first team of FC Barcelona, expectations were already enormous. Barcelona is not a club that introduces players slowly into comfort. It is a club that demands performance immediately. And yet, something unusual happened. He didn't look overwhelmed. He looked natural. He didn't hide in matches. He demanded the ball. He didn't play safe passes. He tried decisive actions. That mindset alone separated him from most young talents. Because at the elite level, many teenagers play not to make mistakes. Yamal plays to create impact, even if it means risking failure. The right wing, where games are broken. Yamal operates primarily from the right wing, but calling him just a winger is misleading. In modern tactical football, wide positions are no longer just about crossing or staying wide. They are zones of constant decision-making. From the right flank, Yamal can isolate defenders in 1v1 situations, cut inside to shoot or combine, deliver early crosses into dangerous zones, drift centrally to overload midfield's slow tempo, or accelerate attacks instantly. But what makes him deadly is not the position itself. It is how quickly he turns small situations into dangerous ones. Most players need structured attacks to become effective. Yamal doesn't. He can create danger from a single touch in isolation. And that is what breaks modern defensive systems. Because systems are designed to stop patterns, not spontaneous genius. The dribbling that looks too simple to stop. One of the most misunderstood aspects of Yamal's game is his dribbling style. He is not flashy in the traditional sense. He doesn't rely on excessive tricks or unnecessary movements. Instead, his dribbling is built on Subtle body shifts, timing delays, minimal touches, sudden acceleration, after stillness, reading defender reactions, instantly this makes him extremely difficult to defend. Because defenders are trained to react to movement. But Yamal often creates hesitation rather than movement. He freezes defenders before beating them, and in modern football, hesitation is more dangerous than speed. A defender can recover from being beaten physically, but hesitation destroys positioning entirely. The mindset that never slows down. One of the biggest reasons young talents fail is fear. Fear of mistakes, fear of losing the ball, fear of criticism, fear of responsibility. That fear makes players predictable. They stop attempting difficult actions. They pass responsibility away. They avoid risk. Yamal does the opposite. Even after losing the ball, he continues trying again. Even after being stopped, he attacks again. Even after failure, he does not disappear. That consistency of bravery is what creates elite attackers. Because defenders cannot relax. They cannot wait for hesitation. They are always under threat. Tactical freedom inside structure. At Barcelona, Yamal benefits from a system that balances structure and freedom. He is not asked to play without responsibility. But he is not restricted from creativity either. Under evolving tactical setups at FC Barcelona, he is allowed to attack defenders directly, combine in tight spaces, create chances, independently adjust positioning based on game flow. This is crucial for development. Because many young players are either over-restricted or given too much freedom too early. Yamal is in the perfect middle zone, structured enough to learn, free enough to express. Why defenders cannot solve him. Defending against Yamal is not a simple tactical assignment. It is a decision-making crisis. When he receives the ball, defenders are forced into uncomfortable choices. Step up and risk being dribbled, hold back, and give him space, double team, and expose other areas. There is no perfect defensive solution. Because he changes rhythm unpredictably. He can slow the game down completely, then explode into acceleration instantly. That unpredictability is what makes him dangerous. Not just skill, but timing control. From talent to match winner. The biggest transformation in Yamal's career so far is not technical, it is functional. He is no longer just a promising winger. He is becoming a decisive player, a match winner, a player who influences results, not just highlights. He creates goals, he assists, he stretches defensive structures, he forces opponents to change their shape. That is the moment a player stops being a prospect and starts being a threat. The weight of early fame. Modern football accelerates narratives. A player performs well in a few matches and suddenly becomes the next big thing. With Yamal, this process happened extremely early. That brings pressure most players never experience at his age. Constant media attention, global comparisons, expectation of weekly brilliance, immediate analysis of every performance. But what makes his rise impressive is how naturally he absorbs it. He does not play like someone chasing reputation. He plays like someone focused on the game itself. And that emotional stability is rare for teenagers in elite football. Still developing, already dangerous. Despite everything he has shown, Yamal is still early in his journey. He is still developing physically, still learning consistency across long seasons, still improving decision-making in high-pressure finals. But that is what makes him so dangerous. Because even while incomplete, he is already decisive. Most players reach elite influence after full physical and tactical maturity. Yamal has reached influence before that stage. Conclusion: a winger built for modern chaos. Lamine Yamal's rise is not a coincidence. It is the result of elite academy development at FC Barcelona, early exposure to first-team football, rare technical intelligence, fearless mentality, and instinctive decision-making. But above all, it is about how he plays the game. Not as a young player trying to survive, but as an attacker trying to decide matches. And that is why defenders across Europe are already struggling to contain him. Because they are not just defending a winger, they are defending unpredictability itself. And in modern football, that is the deadliest weapon of all. If you enjoyed this story, make sure to like, subscribe, and comment below which young talent or football legend you want next. Because football is no longer waiting for the future is already beating defenders on the right wing.